I thought all I had to do was sit here and relax. 5 minutes of, you didn't send anything to anybody all week, yo. I was like, no. No, I couldn't believe it, yo. I'm sitting here like in disbelief. I've talked about it, but I haven't done anything. So,
right, yeah.
so this is, I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna send some other people some emails, let them know that I started, just in case they want to get involved. But you know what? Today's about family wealth, man. Have your, any type of family wealth that was passed down, or that you plan on passing down, or if you got some complaints about your family wealth, listen, there's always complaints. It's up to you, right? Now, me, I wanted to talk, but I'm not going to talk because Rob got to get out of here at 7:30. So I'm going to let Rob talk, and I'm going to go back to inviting people, man. So Rob, you have anything you want to talk about on family wealth, brother?
Absolutely, because we as a family, like my family, there was no generational wealth being passed from the previous generation. You're pretty much starting, and I'm not blaming my parents, because let's face it, they did the best they could. It's crazy though, because both of my parents are from the South, and like my mother, South Carolina, my dad, North Carolina. There's a segment of my dad's family on his father's side that had crazy, crazy bread. Like they own land, like down in like Newport News, Virginia, and stuff like that. These cats I've been to some of their houses when I was little, for like family reunions on my dad's side, and these cats had bread. The problem was, like, and again, it's so funny how we find out things later on in life. Like, damn, why are we the only one that come visit these people? They don't come to see us. Like, I found out like years later on my dad's side, like the reason why nobody messed with us like that was like my dad was like the illegitimate child that like, he's like, hey, he kind of found out about these other family members, and while they did not like disown him or anything like that, they was not handing out cheddar when people would pass away and stuff like that. So like that could have been one of those situations where my dad's been dead now for like 20 years himself, but if he was acknowledged the way he was supposed to been back in the day, they would have cut him in a long time ago. Like we're talking about acres of land, not just like, oh well, they just like a quarter acre or whatever. We talk about big lots of property that the family was giving out that my dad just, wasn't included. What's that?
He slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, look, it was a very big crack because
I don't think he slipped, he was ignored.
Look. And so it's so amazing. Like my family now, and like a part of me hope this part never gets seen in on the YouTube part, but like I literally have family members right now that, there's some that are really, really affluent, and there's some that's really, really like Joe struggles. Like, so, me, I have my 3 kids and stuff like that. It's so important that if we can just like, we're not rich clearly, because we had the conversation last week, I'm out here renting, but if by the time I retire, if I can, own property, whatever like that, like I don't want my kids to have to start over from scratch by the time they become, into their career fields and stuff like that. Like so many of my coworkers, who grew up in the burbs and went to Penn and whatever like that, like when they went to college, they didn't struggle. Like, they didn't come out with $25,000 in student loan debt, stuff like that. So it's like, if I can set my kids up in a way where when they do finish school, whatever, they don't have the debt that I had, to me, that would be a proud moment and a step in the right direction. So I'm not player hating on my parents, because look, they did what they did what all they could. They, whatever money they had, they helped me out and whatever like that. But, anything post-secondary was all on me, come with the debt and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that I will be able to change the trend around myself so that, you know, they, especially now, like, my oldest is 20. I have a 20, a 15, 11-year old. I'm hoping that 11-year old doesn't have the sort of debt that I had that kind of sits on their back. And it's, if especially the way prices are with school now, they're gonna have way more. They're gonna owe way more than my little $20,000 or so that I had when I was finishing up school. So I've seen both sides. I've seen the affluent side of my family that, me and my dad got left out on, and I've also seen people that, piss poor broke. And at this stage in life, there's absolutely nothing they can do about it, just because they've kind of narrowed themselves into like a very tight window of success that is just not attainable at their state, where they're at right now in their life.
So
That's it.
listen, you got a few things. I know you work for the county, right?
Yes,
Do
sir.
you guys have like a whole bunch of different type of benefits like that will help you with leaving money or anything to your kids and your fam?
Um, I mean, if my wife were to shove me in front of a car, I got a pretty good life insurance policy. So I mean, she could probably start over since she's only 45. Because I put away something knowing that I want her to be able to, take care of the kids, get a nice house and stuff like that. We have a good pension, so which is why I'm hanging in there. It's for the 30-year mark, or at least the age of 53 and stuff like that. But I haven't put in anything extra, you know, on the side long term, because I just, like, I need every little bit of money on my paycheck that I can. You know what I'm saying? So no deferred, whatever this, that, and the other. I haven't put anything extra in there because pretty much I need after the, money come out for the bennies and stuff like that. There's no extra money for me to, oh, I'm just gonna take this 10 stacks to the side to do this. There ain't no money left for me to do that right now. So now maybe in a couple years, who knows? But for right now, nothing left on the side.
Understood. Understood. You know, I didn't realize like how important family wealth was until like last year when people were talking about it a lot. You know what I mean? Like they were talking about it online. They were saying like that, that's how communities stay prosperous. The family puts their wealth down to their children or to whoever they leave it to, and that wealth is able to be distributed throughout the community. Like you get to still have value, you know what I'm saying, without just starting from dirt. You know what I mean?
What
So I was go ahead. Go ahead.
No, what I wanted to add real quick, where it also starts off as, and I know I joked about the whole life insurance policy, but we as poor black folks, we just now started to leave significant income to for death benefits and stuff like that. The other races, families, or whatever, they are generations ahead of time. Back in the day, they were the poor ones, coming off the boat or whatever. So they might have left that one family 25,000, say 50, 60 years ago. The next thing you know, that next family left 100,000, and it's so forth and so on. So this life insurance is how these families built up their wealth, because great grandfather died, left for a couple 100,000. you know, Next thing you know, they take that money and they buy property. They get you know, send the kids to nicer schools or whatever like that. So we just didn't have the money. Like we paycheck to paycheck. We didn't have money to put aside for any sort of significant life insurance policy. If you were lucky, if your job gave you $10,000 to bury you, so that's just having a halfway decent job. And I know, let's face it, if you guys are, whoever's doing military out there, whatever, have things set up for them as well. But back in the day, them jobs didn't give you anything. You know, like I said, you were lucky to have enough to bury you versus tens to hundreds of $1,000s that these jobs started offering back in the day to take this one family and put them instantly into a middle class lifestyle just because off of one person dying.
Well, I think too, that generational wealth. for the whites and everybody else, the government helped them all out. They didn't help us out. The government helped them out. Social Security, that wasn't given to the blacks at first. We had to fight for that. Like the GI Bill from the military, all that, housing the veterans stuff, all that stuff wasn't given to the blacks. That was given to the whites. Like free housing and all that stuff, that was given to the whites, not to the blacks. So everything that's how they really got their generational wealth done. The government, it was government assistance. All through the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, where they made everything, the stimulation in there, where they always made a stipulation where we couldn't get it. And that's why we struggled and they didn't. And anytime we did get something, they would come and kill us, or they burnt the town down.
It was hard for us to get it as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was loops and hoops we had to go through.
Well, they knew not even the loops. You just wasn't gonna get it because they made sure you wasn't gonna get it. Like Social Security, and all that stuff, all those stuff.
Like you said, the boys that served in the military, they didn't get it.
They didn't get that stuff. They made sure there was always a clause where they knew where most of the blacks, 90% of the blacks would be at, wherever that clause was at. They made sure that they put that clause in there where they knew 90% of the blacks was going to get that. You know what I mean? Or any. Some places it was 100. You know what I mean? So they always did it. And then when it comes to life insurance, a lot of them life insurance policies back then, them blacks had, the insurance, they didn't pay them. They always said it was suicide. So a lot of generational wealth we did have, but the state or the company, they took it away from us somehow. So, and that's why they didn't get it. Like we own that state, that beachfront in California, blacks had. Then the state, but they had all that beachfront, and outside of them was the whites were poor. So the state's official and the governor and all that stuff, they passed laws and they said, okay, they did stuff where they could put a road down where and took their property. You know what I mean? Well, now they sued them. Now they're getting all the millions back. But that's the kind of stuff that happened. That's why we didn't have it. But today, there's no excuse because we get life insurance. There's too much knowledge out there not to be passing down generational wealth. You dig what I'm saying?
Especially since life insurance is actually affordable now. Depending on how much coverage you're trying to do.
Been exposed. You know what I'm saying? Now that everything's been exposed, I think it was easier for us to pass down generational wealth. You know what I mean?
But I say too, like we know more now where where we didn't know about. We just blacks usually just say, okay, my son, I want to die. My children are going to own my house. Okay. But they never willed it to their children.
Yep. So
the problem is when you don't will it,
the state will just take it.
The state won't take it. But the problem is that if you have 3, 4, or 5 children, all the 5 children own a percentage of the house.
Oh, yeah.
So if a contractor comes in or like one of these big old businessmen come in, it's like they want that whole area. Well, if they know nothing's willed, then if one of you sell your portion of the house, it's his. That portion is his. So it's 5 of you, he owns 1/5 of that house because one of you sold a part of that house to him. So now you can't sell a house unless he agrees to it too, because he's one of the people that owns the house.
Yeah, but here's another thing I know as well. If you don't have a will in certain states, the state can make an appointee on the estate, and that the state can get 10%, up to 10% of whatever that estate is worth, as well.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So
if there's no will and there's no one to claim it, the state takes it.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people of color, even white people who are poor, mostly poor people, always lost their property.
Hey, Mom. You on here, right? Where the hell's my generational wealth?
Oh, let me put her on hold or on pause. Because she don't have enough manners to be in this conversation right now.
That's why I say poor. That's why I say poor.
You're right, poor people. No, but for real.
You were calling for it.
But for real, you know, my thing with generational wealth is I don't have any kids, right? And I don't plan on having no kids, but I do plan on giving my money to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like dying enough to give them anything. He gets the best part of me, my time. But no, for real, I've been debating who I'm going to give my money to. I do have a godchild that I don't even know the name of the damn child. So I was debating that. But then again, I was like, well, shit. They never even brought the child around me. Why should I give her anything? You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm up in the air about it. I was going to let the family fight over it, but y'all, you know, I might just leave it to Andre and let him just decide who he's going to give it to. I don't know. I don't expect to outlive that brother.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Well, now I'm changing my mind again because he corrected me and you know what I'm saying, I don't like that shit. So I'm gonna have to think who I'm gonna get a little bit of money left to, yo. But it's all good. I'm just joking, but for real, I feel that like generational wealth, family wealth is an important thing on even how you come up in the world. You know what I mean? So because if you don't have the money, you know, a lack of money brings out a lot of evil, yo. Brings out a lot of desperation and a lot of hate. And I feel like if you have a little security, if you have a home and you know that that's your home and it's not going to be taken from you unless you do something stupid like not pay the taxes or something, I think that that's a great way to like pass on the family wealth to somebody. So me, once I you know am ready to leave this house, I don't even know if I'm going to sell it, but if I do pass it down, I want to pass it down to somebody who's going to get something out of it rather than I don't want to pass it down to someone who's going to turn it into a hit house. You know what I'm saying? I want to pass it down to somebody who's already responsible.
He's going to appreciate it. Right.
Yeah, so that they can have some wealth. I might wind up just giving it to Don because Don the only one that really hang with me that like nephew-wise, niece-wise, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, well, yeah, I might do that. I don't know. I had to call some people. But I'm only doing that because I feel like, you know, Don has a fam. You know what I'm saying? He's a fam. He's very happy with his fam. I will give it to my niece, but she crazy as hell. I don't know.
I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know about
how that is. but at least I could keep it in the fam. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I don't want to die and then the state just take my stuff. You know what I mean? Not that I think that'll happen, but I don't want to die and then the wrong family member because we got them. That'll all of a sudden they love Aaron to death. He was my favorite uncle, aunt, friend, son, whatever. He's our favorite. And then they go and take all the money from everybody and nobody get nothing. I don't even get buried, yo. So I think I'm going to have to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you listen, you never know. People do things legally all the time. I've seen it done myself. I've seen girlfriends lose whole homes to family members because the family told them that they love them, you know what I'm saying, and want to take the home and make it our home. And then she signed it over to them, never heard from them again. Gone, forever. Whole house. You understand what I'm saying? Families do that to each other, you know? So that's why I'm saying your family wealth and to be aware of who it's going to go to is very important. Otherwise, you're just leaving victims out here, yo. You know what I mean? You're just leaving people who can be victimized, take their wealth stolen right under them, you know, because a lot of people use love and even the church. They'll take your shit too. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. You got to do this with real intent. You know what I'm saying? And now that we're having this meeting about family wealth, I'm thinking I got to do this with the intent then I'm going to give it to someone who actually will grow from it. This will be something, you know what I mean? If I pass away and they could rent my house out, you know what I mean? Or just sell it. I'm in an upcoming area. They can just hold on to it until it becomes so impossible to hold on to. And sell it and make some real money. So this is why I wanted to do this program. You know, does anybody else have anything they want to speak on family wealth? Andre, you was talking, so you might as well talk about you.
Yeah, like the way I put it, where I told Jasmine and everything was, I'm gonna leave this house when I croak to her, and she's gonna get like a good like 100,000 and stuff like that. So that's my life insurance policy for her. So I told her, matter of fact, I told her I ain't gonna leave it to her. I said I'm gonna leave it to my grandson. So that way, when he graduates high school and everything, when I die, he has a house. He don't have no payments. Like I said, if I'd have had a house that I didn't have a mortgage on, I'd have had all types of money, you know, saved up, had a whole bunch of more properties and stuff. So, you know, but you know, that was X too. So, but anyway, so I told her that, and I told her like, the way I'm gonna have it is I'm probably gonna put it in like a trust. And the way it goes is if, like, say, if my grandson dies, you know what I mean, and he has children, well, it'll go to them. Like, it'll just keep on getting passed down. But the main thing is it can only go to a biological child. So that's the main thing you got to make sure too, because you never know. They get married, and the mother, they go off, and then the husband or the wife be trying to take everything from the kids, you know, what from your kids and give it to their kids. You know what I mean? Because they might have came in with already with a family. So you got to make sure that, or, you know, you never know who they might meet, might kill them off. You know what I mean? And talk about, this is my house now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I said everything it goes down to is going to have to be a biological child. That's it. So, and it could go from generation to generation. And that's my thing is when you get generational wealth, it's like, because now they can go to college. You know what I mean? And not have to worry about rent. You know what I mean? Shoot, they could take a loan. They could put take a loan against the house, or you know what I mean, like a home equity loan. That way they get their money back. They don't have to go to a bank and get the money. They get a home equity loan. You know what I mean? That way they can claim it on their taxes and just go to school. You know, so that's what like a lot of families do. They get a home equity loan for their children so they can go to college. You know, so and that's what a lot of that generational wealth comes for. And if they don't, you know what I mean? And now it's great. It's like back in our day when you went to college, you had all these loans. But now you get grants and everything. Like you get free stuff up to a bachelor's degree. So, you know, they can make all types of money. Can you imagine having a bachelor's degree, making some great money? And all you gotta do is pay for your whatever the one's over that was the PhD. And that's it. You know what I mean? And you still got a free house. You have to pay nothing but utilities on it. You know, so that's it. But I'm making sure that in case something happens to me, in case something happens to my daughter, you know what I mean, too, with the money, you know what I mean? They say she dies and I die at the same time because we both in the car. Then I'm gonna make sure that it's a trust with the money that I had to make sure, even when I was in the military, you know, when I had to go away for the war and stuff, I made sure that they will only get a certain amount of money when they turn 18, only if they're going to college, you know, or buying a house. You know what I mean? Well, they don't need a house because I got my house, but only if they're going to college. And after that, they get, like, say it was like, well, she was going to get 400 grand at the time. So I just made it where, like, say now it's only 100 grand. So if my grandson's going to get it now, or my granddaughter, because me and Janet died in the car, then I would make it where they both want to get like maybe 20 grand when they turn 18, only if they're going to college. You know what I mean? Otherwise that they don't get nothing. And then if they do, then they get another percentage when they turn 25. Then they get another percentage when they turn 30. And then the last part, I would leave it until they turn 40. That way.
I don't know if you should have said all that out loud, boy. I know you're decent ex-wife, boy.
But that's the way
too much information for me, bro.
No, that's why I had it. That's why I had it planned. And the way I had it too, in case something happened to any of them, that only a biological child could get the money. You know what I mean? That's it. Now, if they done that, if no other biological fit, then it would go straight to family members. You know what I mean? Like brothers and sisters and stuff like that. But otherwise than that, mom. But otherwise than that, everything goes to a biological child. That's it. You know what I mean? Now, my daughter's mom, when she croaked, I told Javin, leave that for my granddaughter because she got one more bedroom than I. She has 3 bedrooms, but I got 2. So, you know, she has some kids, you know, she has her house, that's paid for. So the grandkids going to be taken care of. You know, Javin should have her own by then too. So they're going to have at least 2 to 3 houses that are open, where one of them going to live in one, each of them going to live in one, and then the third one could be for something that they just rent out. You know what I mean? So that would be their generational wealth, and that way they could put like all their money, like their max, in their 401k wherever they work at, or to a Roth IRA. You know what I mean? And put money in the stocks. So I'm teaching them about stocks and stuff. So, and then they have even more wealth. So it just keeps on going down past generation. And then after a while, they could buy more properties. You know what I mean? So that's where your generational wealth pretty much goes in it for me. And then that way they could start their own business. They could start their own business, you know what I mean? And not have to worry about paying a mortgage. So now, they got less headaches of when they want to start their own business. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that they can do, with that generational wealth if they just have it. That's why you got to pass that stuff down. But you also got to teach your kids and grandkids about how to spend money, how to earn money, how to, you got to teach them that. You can't just give them that stuff. The only thing they want to do is party it up in your house, break it up. Don't save any money to fix up the house. It's going to get run down, and then the city's going to take it because it's not fixable. You know what I mean? Because L9 going to come put a sticker on the drawer and say, like, they're going to knock the building down. And that's what happens a lot with generational wealth too, when people leave the stuff to the kids and don't teach them anything about how to keep it right, how to maintain, and all that kind of stuff. Because I've seen it so many times going to people's houses.
Yeah, they don't educate them.
They don't educate them. So it goes to nothing. You remember one of the Milton Savard's her grandmother left her a house. She ended up selling the house and moving to Vegas. It made no sense. And didn't have all that money to buy her own house in Vegas. You know what I mean? So you had a house that was paid for that you left to get a mortgage somewhere else, and you didn't use that money for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't make no sense to me. So it's just a dumb decision. So, and that's what you got to do. And some of our friends from high school that graduated, remember when their parents died, when they came there, they had all that money, like 50,000, 80,000, and they just got a car, crashed the car, got another car, did nothing because they didn't know anything to do. So that's why when you leave that type of money, you need to write down, have some talks, and all that kind of stuff so they'll know what to do. That's the way the generational wealth will keep going. That's how I see it. And that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, that's what's up. A little more, you explained a little more than I thought you would, because I would have never told all that information, yo.
They already know. So.
Oh, they already know? Oh, it's too late anyway. All right, well,
I don't want nobody telling them nothing different, because there'll be people on her side of the family who try to like her, you know what I mean? Try to say you deserved it, blah, blah, blah. I don't want none of that. That's why I explain stuff to them. I tell them what they need to be doing and all that kind of stuff to keep that generational wealth going. I don't want no one in their ear telling them, oh, this is that, and they'll be lying or be trying to swindle them out of the money and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to talk to your kids and let them know what's going on, and leave something written for them so they'll know what to do too. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to do.
I got you. That's what's up. That's a good plan. Yo, Eric, man, you've been sitting here all patiently and stuff, and I will get to you, Alicia and Dawn, but I want to get at y'all at the same time since Alicia wants to curse you out. We're gonna talk to Eric. Yo, Eric, I just asked you to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Eric.
I did. I'm unmuted.
All right, cool. Yo, man, what's up with you in the family wealth game, man? Did you get anything? Are you going to give anything? What's going on?
So, being in the middle, I got absolutely nothing. But as far as giving, my situation right now is a little bit different because I have a business. And I have a business that's really growing and growing fast and very large. My issue is that none of my children are interested in the business I'm in.
Oh, yes.
So I have no idea who my business will be left to, or I can just put it in a family name, get a manager to run it for whatever, but I don't want anybody to take it out of my family's name. So, that's the issue I'm having, Of course, I would love for one of them to take over it, but in my heart, I know none of them are interested in doing what I'm doing. So, of course, that means I have a lot of planning to do. So if I do expire before then, I have to find a way to keep my business going. As far as life insurance, everybody's covered, unfortunately. But fortunately, my middle son is the responsible one. So he gets everything. I know that he has a good head on his shoulders. I know he will make sure my other two children get what they need, not what they want, but what they need. And I know he'll use the money wisely for whatever business adventure that he want to be in. So, I mean, I think the way things are set up with the insurance plans I have, with the business plan that I have, with the money coming to the business, that they should do okay if they keep the business running.
Yeah, but you know, the one thing I've noticed a lot is children these days, they don't take over family businesses, man. They tend to just try to sell it as best they can and just keep on moving and spend all that money up, yo.
Yeah.
So what do you think, is there anything you can do to at least educate them on what they can do? Like let them have some options and tell them, you know, my thing is family wealth don't work unless the people you're giving the money to work it right. You know what I mean? So if you don't educate them, if you just throw them the money, they're going to do what a child does because they're thinking like a child. Yay, I got my money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, are you going to put anything in like, are you going to try to see if you can educate any of them toward knowing what to do?
Honestly, what I'm going to have to do is just write something up that's going to be very, very, very strong as far as the business will stay in her name, but somebody else would definitely have to run it. Again, because I know neither one of the three that I have, one of them is business minded, the other two are not. But again, the one that's business minded is far from healthcare. So again, I would have to put something in writing just to keep my company name around. And I would just pray that whatever I have in writing is strong enough to where they can't have access to all the money or sell the business off. I don't know, but I'll figure it out, hopefully.
So you want your business to be your legacy more than anything.
Yes, I want it to be like my business. My ultimate goal is to have a nursing education center, you know, for future people, period, you know. So I want my Simmons name to be around forever, or at least associated with nursing and associated with school. So like I want people to be proud saying that they graduated from the Simmons whatever, you know what I mean? But as far as like right now, but I mean, unfortunately, as much as I teach my children and teach them about business, like they don't have that mind frame right now. I mean, I pray that it'll come to them, but it might be too late. So again, like I have a lot of planning and again, educating, talking to do, but I already know that like it's not going to happen with them.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with that, man. I hope it work out. You know, whoever you choose, you know what I'm saying? It's hard. That's a hard thing, man, because you want to, you know, I don't have no kids, but even if I did, I would want them to be what I thought they should be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would want them to like be, and if I put a trail out there for you to follow where you're guaranteed to be, you know, successful, I would want you to follow that. But everybody's not going to follow that because you know how people grow up these days. Everybody know everything. What you gonna do, right?
You know, I mean, I'm proud of them. I mean, they're all in their own right are doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know, Eric has his own security business, so he's business minded. He's doing his thing. You know, of course, you know Kelly's he actually just moved up, so he's one of the top managers at SEPTA now. And being 27, that's really good. You know, so he has his career, and Kelly does not ever. He prefers to work for somebody. You know, I'm different. I don't want to work for anybody. You know, and Jadira is 24. She's still trying to find her groove in life. So, I mean, they're all doing okay. But as far as taking over what I want them to, like, I can't force them because, again, they're doing what they need to do, you know? And then again, if I was forced to do what my mom wanted me to do, I would be a doctor delivering babies. But,
yeah.
You know, so Again, like I was saying, I want my family name to be around forever. I want my grandchildren to be well off. Like I want them to work hard. I don't want them to have to worry about income though. I want them to work hard, but I don't want them to have to work hard. So yeah.
I understand. Let me see. Who was gonna assault it? Oh, there's two more left. I'm gonna get to my sidekick last, because he gonna be here at the end anyway. So there's two more left. Dawn and Alicia. I'm gonna unmute you because Alicia came in here yelling, so I had to cut her out.
I was here for a minute before I yelled anything.
But that don't matter.
And I was teasing my mama.
Listen, you can get muted again, y'all. You can get muted again.
Your phone number. You mute me all you want. I'm gonna call you and mute
Alicia,
you
chill out for a minute. I want to ask you a serious question. Serious question, Alicia. What are you doing toward family wealth? Like, toward your family's family wealth after you're gone?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Nothing. I am young. I have not been the most responsible adult. And so little people like this one right here don't really have anything to fall back on. I had life insurance, but being as though I'm already ill at such a young age, it got so expensive to where it just wasn't manageable, and I couldn't afford to do it. I love my mom. It was either that or there's companies that just aren't willing to insure me. So it's gotten to the point where it's like, I don't know what to do for them at this point.
I understand. Where you work, do they have any type of plans or anything? Like, do they ever call you HR? And no, Dawn's saying no.
They don't offer anything. I don't even have health benefits right now. The company I'm with right now is basically, if I pay you, stop, Dominica, that's rude. Okay. It's basically, it's a small business. He's not growing very fast. And he feels as though if he pays us at a higher hourly rate, he isn't benefiting by offering us any type of actual healthcare coverage or retirement plans or anything else. Stop it. However, the company I was with prior did offer like $10,000 in life insurance, which is only enough to just get you into the ground. And they had health benefits, but again, with me already being sick, it was still so expensive that it just was crazy. And so even now I pay for CHIP for the kids, and I'm kind of just living week to week at this point. Stop it.
Yeah, I remember them days. You know what? You know what I did? I said, you know what I'm going to do? I want to get me a state job. I got an entry-level state position because I said that at least I know I'll have benefits and I won't get fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I work. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to worry about getting. If you work for the state, you pretty much ain't going to get fired unless there's some type of furlough, which is funny because when I joined the state, there wasn't a furlough for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It was practically a guarantee. And then 2 years later, they furloughed people. You know what I mean? For the first time in 30 years because of that wonderful Rendell. You know what I mean? But with the furlough is over, and all the people who were furloughed, who wanted their job back, are back with the state. You know what I'm saying? And me, I even got furloughed. I had to take a lesser job, a position, which wound up being better for me anyway. And then I excelled past the position I had before that. So I think what I'm trying to say is, if you want more security, my suggestion would be to try to get with the state or the city. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I didn't have nobody there for me. All I did was pass a test, and I took the first job that came. And then from there, I think this is like my 5th job.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So from there, you can excel. You know what I mean? And they have plenty of benefits, and they can't refuse you because of your health. Period. You hear that? You heard what I just said? All right.
I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, so definitely try for the state and the city. I say go for the state. And if you can go federal, definitely go for federal. Federal pays better. Everything's better federal. Okay? So
Yes,
I suggest that you hit those 3 places, and they might have something in your area that you can apply for. You know what I'm saying? And you can apply. You don't even have to go to an office no more. You can apply online now. You can even submit your resume online. I think even right now, they might even be having virtual interviews now. So
I actually just got finished having my resume redone like 2 nights ago.
all right,
So.
it's a start, babe. It's a start, babe. Look at it. This is your start toward generational wealth.
Never too late.
It's never too late. I didn't start until I was 35. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Now
I'm
I'm
getting there. I'm
53.
getting there.
Now I'm 53. I'm close to retiring soon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it can happen. You can get to a point to where you can be a person who is able to pass down some generational wealth without even having to do anything extra. Just all you gotta do is have the right job. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Yeah.
My poor kids, with their father being an illegal immigrant and me in my situation, their hopes don't look so great if I don't figure something out soon.
Well,
the state, federal, they one of those 2, a city. One of those 3.
3 that you could go for. Anybody can go for these things. So you should go. You have work experience. That's a hella plus. You know what I'm saying? My work experience was shoddy as hell. So I'm telling you, you got a chance. And the thing I know, because I used to work in human resources, is when they hire for certain positions, they let's say they say, okay, we're giving out tests for this position, right? You test for the position, 2-3 months go down, maybe even 6 months go down, and that position opens all over the state, right? Say they interview like 20 people for that position, right? Even if you're like in the 70s, 80s, 70s, you just might get an interview. You understand what I'm saying? Your score doesn't depict whether you can get the job. If you can get in there and do a very well, interview, you can get the job. So that's why I needed to, I just wanted you to know that it's available. You know what I'm saying? Right now I work for the Department of Environmental Protection. I've been there for like 21 years. It's all good. It's all good. And believe me, I had a hella pass, yo.
Well, it's definitely good to know that there are better. I mean, I did know that there are better opportunities out there, especially now since it seems like most people my age don't want to go out and get a job anymore.
Yeah, I understand. I didn't want a job either.
Yeah, but now that they offered all that PUA and all that crap, these people out here don't want to do anything with themselves.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry about them.
They just stay home and get it for free.
Let me tell you something. I worry about them. I don't even worry about them. I don't care about that free money because I know that's ending. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about what they're doing. You need to take advantage of what.
I just mean, thankfully to them, it leaves a whole bunch of jobs open that probably wouldn't have been open before. So it's kind of a little bit a good thing that those ones are out there.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're paying more for positions now. You know what I'm saying? Because no one's going to work. No one wants them. So now's the time for you to make a move for real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Real.
Go on USA Jobs and go on that, John.
Because once everybody go back to work, don't think they're going to be giving out them salaries.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
yeah, I know.
the IRS is hiring right now for like $14 and $15 an hour jobs on USA Jobs that I saw. You know what I mean? So you should put some things. Matter of fact, your mom just got a job at the IRS, so she can tell you
Yes, she
everything.
did.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what you need to do. Go on that USA Jobs, because I was enough stuff for Jasmine. You know, like she wanted to make a change from what she's doing now, and they got a whole bunch of jobs on there, $14, $15 an hour. So that's where you want to go, because you can always move up. So I used to work at the IRS.
You always move up. I started at the lowest entry job you could start at. Mm-hmm. And I just moved up one by one. When people see that you work hard, they don't care. They don't think about your resume and all that.
I don't think it gets much harder than dealing with psychomaniacs and wiping people's butts and giving them showers and stuff. I don't think work get much harder than that. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about your work ethic. When people see your work ethic, they don't have, it doesn't matter where you're working. They might offer you a job. I was offered this job that I have, you know, and I was working in human resources, and someone saw my work ethic and they wanted me to take over this position. So that's how I got this job. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You know, as long as your work ethic is there, you show up, you just do your job, you don't do a whole lot of mouth, and you just keep it rolling. You just keep it rolling. Now I'm gonna let your mama talk, because I let you talk. Hey, what's up, Dawn? How you doing? What's your thoughts on family wealth? Are you gonna have? Are you not? Are you in trouble? Are you doing well? What's going on?
Well, I ain't getting
none. Before you talk, I'm gonna mute your daughter. There you go. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Dawn.
Okay, I thought you was talking to her still. All right. Well, I started out at the bottom rung more than once, so you know how that went, and I'm really basically starting at the bottom rung again. However, the last job that I had, I did start my 401k, and well, I started it a little previous to that, but I've been adding on to that and adding on to that and adding on to that, and hopefully, if I make it to retirement, God bless my soul, if I make it that long, it'll help me through that. But more or less, like you said, a lot of it got to do with insurance. What you leave in once you do expire, pass, and pretty much that's the foundation of what the future for my family can go off of. Really, basically, it pretty much boils down to making sure that they're educated enough to know what to do with it and know how to do it. Because you never know. You just never know.
Yep,
now
it's true.
These kids and the stuff that's out here now, like they getting addicted to everything. Even have fentanyl in it and shit. Like I know it. We all know it. I ain't gonna lie. I am. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm scared. I'm scared of anything that's out here because they putting fentanyl in weed. Like, who does it? Why would you do something like that? But nowadays, it's just, wow.
They want you addicted.
So basically, it's about education and making sure that what you leave and how you leave it is pretty much already decided. So opportunity, but it's limited on what they can do with it and how they can use it. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be, there is a trust. There is a certain amount of education, but there's also a trust so that certain monies, if they want to buy, like I don't own, I rent. I never wanted to own a house because I don't want to be responsible for replacing heaters and all types of stuff that I don't know nothing about. I get robbed. I'll be the first one to tell you I get robbed. I don't know about nothing putting in no heaters or electrical or nothing like that. So I don't want that responsibility. I also don't want to be responsible for like plowing snow or doing shit like I don't know nothing about that. You know? So I don't want to be in that position either. So more or less, like I said, when time comes and Alicia, you have to start doing stuff without me around and without me making any type of decisions for her. She has a guide as to what comes next. How do I manage this? How do I make sure that this is being divvied out the proper way? What's for the kids for college? What's for the kids to make sure the kids have? And hopefully she'll follow whatever I ask. I think because she pretty much knows my wishes. She knows what I want. So, but
I can say, even at a young age, she always taught me to manage finances, number one. Number two, she's always said, you know, anything she left, she would definitely want me to be extremely responsible with in making sure that all the bills got paid up, and then whatever money I was working for, I could spend on other things as far as like wants instead of necessities. So she's always made sure that I did know that. But I think a big part of that, and I was thinking this earlier when you guys were talking about it, is schools do not teach our children to be financially responsible or stable at all. There's no education in money management or real life skills. There's just nothing there for them to grow from. And I think a lot of kids grow up to be very irresponsible adults because they done learned so much unuseful things that there at that point when you're out of the learning stage or the stage where you're so willing to learn so much that they're closed off to it by the time it's actually able to be taught.
Well, we can either complain about it or we can just do our best, yo. I'm doing my best. Look, for a very long time, I had nothing. I was homeless for a very long time. And you know, one day I got my shit together and just decided that I wanted to be worth something to me, not just my fam, but to me, you know what I mean? And I think the family wealth thing kind of it played a role to me because I felt like, what am I going to leave behind? My name ain't going to be sat nowhere. My name ain't going to be on no street sign or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So what am I going to leave behind? You know what I'm saying? I said, well, the least you can do is leave some money to somebody. I just want somebody to profit from my life. You know what I mean? Somebody that I love. That's why I talk about family wealth, because it's important to me. You know what I mean? And you know what? I did see Carmen over there. Yo, is Carmen going to get in there? No, yo, is Carmen going to get in, Andre? I can't hear you, man.
Yeah, she's right here. You hear? You see her?
Yeah. We running longer than I thought we was going to run because I was like, ain't nobody going to talk on nothing. But you know what? I guess it's a pretty good subject, isn't it? It's a pretty good subject. Yo, Carmen. What do you plan on what do you plan on doing towards family wealth for your kids and your or do you or are you like, you know, it's mine, I'm going out like a champ, yo? How are you doing it?
So, you know, I agree with I heard a couple conversations in regards to not being taught, you know, so I learned through other people. And when I worked for the Commonwealth, I had no idea. I was hesitant about investing money for life insurance because, you know, I thought it was a waste of money until I really learned the value of life insurance. And then, so that kind of like set me up. That knowledge set me up. Well, yeah, let me like my kids even after I pass on and leave them a little something, something. So I always invested my money with some life insurance for my children, but only as in the last, I would say, the conversation came up in 2012 that I told them, I said, listen, if something happens to me, dial this 800 number and they'll divvy out the money. And they thought I was very morbid, but it was factual. And then that gave me the position to explain to them about life insurance. I also have life insurance on their lives in regards to, God forbid, they pass before me, I have money to bury them. I kind of like in my lifetime, only a couple times to experience that our family members, when they went to bury somebody passed on, nobody had money to bury them. So you had to like get, you know, a couple dollars from here, a couple dollars from there. And it's kind of like a little humiliating for the family, but so I didn't want to go through that. So I explained to my children, you know, they kind of thought I was a little morbid, talking about when I pass, and God forbid they pass before me, but now they get it. They know that there's an 800 number that they can call and everything's DV out. There's no, this is black and white. And I told them, I said, you should do the same for your kids. I'm not sure if they're there yet, but this is what I can provide for them when I go, or God forbid one leaves before me, I have the money to bury them.
Okay. Okay.
That's my wealth after I die. But you know, I'm just being realistic. That's what I told them. While I was alive, I have shown them that the hard work I do has provided them with vacation, but it took a lot of hard work to go on that vacation, you know, stuff like that. And they have now experienced that with their own families. That it takes a lot of hard work to get what, if you want. Now they realize it takes even a lot of harder work if they want a foundation, if they want to purchase a home. They're not there yet. There's still a little self-indulgence in themselves, but they have that seed, you know.
Yeah, they might start late, but as long as they get started, you know what I'm saying? You got to start. Like, I was at my job for about 10 years. Before I even thought about doing anything, and I got involved in deferred compensation, you know what I'm saying? And then I got into human resources, and that's when I realized how much I could have, like, if I would have started when I first started putting money away, I would be leaving, by my standards, a pretty wealthy dude, yo. I'd be leaving a wealthy man. You know what I mean? But I didn't, because when I was young, I was like, oh, this money mine. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck them kids. I'm good. You know what I mean? And I was like, why do I want to put that money away? Well, I need it now. You know what I'm saying? I need it right now. And now I'm like, damn, I was stupid as hell. I could have put a little bit away and just added on a little bit of time. I could have put $25 away a month. And then if it didn't bother me, I could have asked them to put $50 away. And I could have asked them to put what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Every check, I say put 100 away, yo. You know what I'm saying? And I could have, if I would have started back then, I would have had my retirement would be looking very healthy right now. You know what I'm saying? Very healthy. 21 years later, you know what I'm saying? I was supposed to be out of here 5 years later. You know what I mean? But 20 years later, I learned 15 years into it, and I'm putting in now. If I had known all the advantages that I could have had, just through going through my HR and learning things about I would be pretty well set off right now, But luckily, I'm a smart dude, you know what I'm saying? So I bought me a nice cheap house. It's cheaper than any rent I ever had. To live here. It's cheaper than any rent I ever had, yo. You know what I'm saying? I pay a ridiculously low amount of money for rent for my mortgage, yo. You know what I mean? And
I'm moving in.
You can, I already told you the price of that woman. Don't play with me. Yeah. So anyway, I want to move on because we got one more to play in the house. His name is Casual Don. That's my nephew, man. Hey, Casual Don, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Are you muted, man?
I'm here. You hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. Yeah. So what's up, man? What's your plans for your family wealth after you're gone, man? What you got planned and going, or do you have anything, or is that even a possibility?
My money is in stocks, right? We talk about stocks all the time.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. I have a lot of money in stock. I'm actually using that to purchase this home we're purchasing right now. I use a lot of it, but because of that, I only invested $1,000, not near 10. So, yeah, that's a big well, remember.
Let me ask you, Don, how long did it take that investment to turn into 10? Like, did you just put it in
2 years
recently?
2
years?
2 years.
That's beautiful.
Pre-COVID though. So I invested in quarter shares with my job offered it. So I said, well, I got extra money. This is before I got cancer and before I got sick. And I said, yeah, I could put in damn near half my check. A quarter of my check into this investment. And that's when, COVID hit. Next thing I know, I found out I got cancer. But the money is still growing. People are now stuck at home, so they got to do something. Board games, entertain themselves. And what do? They just started buying on Amazon. Like Amazon just blew up, and now I have that money to fall back on, and we buying this house. I got the money to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're using pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, that's the money to fall back on. I have that, so I'm kind of mad I had to take that and use it for them. I'm glad I have it though.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have it. I'm telling what would I have.
What they're there for.
I'm mad because of the tax.
Nothing about any investments. Nothing. Not a thing.
So, and then here's the thing about it. I didn't know anything about investments either until I talked to you guys. And it was like, yeah, I'm in this, I'm doing that. I was like, yeah, I should do that. Let me just do Amazon. It's the coolest thing, And again, I invested in cool. I put $1,000 in. My take out of that is over 10,000. So that's for me and my wife. But for as far as my children go, because this home is going to be split between them. But then my wife's made a very important and very knowledgeable thing. She said to me, "What about the grandkids?" I said, "You know what? Let's leave the house for the grandchildren." Let's leave the house for the grandchildren. Our children will get a monetary gain, but the grandchildren will have something physical. This house we're going to purchase right now. So when they go to school or to college, they'll have somewhere to live. Also, as far as me, I'm not going to be buried. I'm getting cremated. So the money that my wife will get for me when I'm dead, she can keep all of that. I told her this cremate. I just cremate. Spending $18,000 on bury me in some dirt that's a scam.
I feel the same way, exact same way.
I'm getting cremated too, bro. So.
Me too.
$5,000 on a casket, another $5,000 for you to say, "Ah, man, throw your roses and keep moving." No, and you want to pay $10,000? It's like $2,000 for a headstone. No.
And notice how you hit it for a stone.
It's crazy because you think about it. After your kids, your grandkids, whatever, that stone's still sitting there. Don't nobody know you. Don't nobody know nothing about that stone or who you was. Right on by people. I don't know nothing about that.
Most people ain't going back at the funeral anyway.
No.
That's why I'm getting creamed.
That's me too.
Take that money and you're going to go travel the world. You're going to go travel the world. I said, you take my ashes when you go travel the world and throw me in the wind. Travel the world.
Yeah, that's what I said. Throw me in the ocean. That's all. That's all I care about.
No, not the ocean. No, not the ocean. No.
Where you trying to become?
I want to travel. You throw me in the ocean, I'm going to sink to the bottom, and some weird fish is going to nibble on me and without. No. Throw me.
Like
The light-skinned people value the death a lot.
So like, throw me in the wind. I'm good. She's taken care of. The children are taken care of. The grandchildren are taken care of. And that's pretty much all I've done. I told my son to invest as well. My youngest son, my oldest son, he's already investing in stocks. But he does daytime trading. So he doesn't. I do long. I'm thinking long term. So I could like long. Will be worth something later. I keep up with the new technology. I keep up with, for instance, it's a new defense bill that the United States is actually having people a new defense, and they're cloud storage. And the three top companies in cloud storage is Microsoft, Amazon, and it's a third company, and I forget their name. But those three companies are bidding on it's a $1 billion 10-year contract. Microsoft got it first because of Trump. He don't like Amazon and the other company. So he gave it to Microsoft. Now Biden's in office, he recanted that contract and they got to rebid. So I'm hoping that Amazon gets it, because then our stocks will go ballistic. So, I'm hoping. But my youngest son, to invest, now he's investing in Amazon too as well. He has less than $1,000 in shares right now, but he only invests $20 per paycheck, which is
that's better than nothing.
That's a lot better than some of us are doing.
Right, gas money. That's gas money. You can throw that's throwaway money. $20 not gonna miss that per paycheck, and because he gets paid every week, that's 4, sometimes 5 pounds. So that's almost $100 every month investing into this stock.
52 weeks in a year, he's putting that in 20 times, 52 times 20,
And he's been doing that since last February. And I just looked at his stock, and it's well over $1,000. Well over $1,000, because it's not in it, it's still growing.
So Amazon, I'm gonna have to buy me some Amazon now, because I don't have it.
But because he worked for Amazon, they gave him a nice little they invested half of whatever he invested in. So
they gave him half of okay.
Right.
Okay.
So because that helped him as well. Because like if you being an outsider trying to invest, all you can do is quarter shares or a full share. And a full share well over $3,000 for a full share. Now that's a lot of money for the average person. So work for them, he was able to do $20 increments, which is again nothing for a teenager, because they spend $20 just on food. So yeah, I mean it's a little things I show him and teach him. He might not listen, but when he sees the return, he understands. So that, and my wife as well, she works. She has a nice little money coming her way, with her life insurance as well and everything. Again, our household is fine as far as monetary. We're not struggling.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing. We have more than what we need. We have most of what we want.
Okay.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what we're trying to teach our children.
Mm-hmm.
And get some of what you want. If you can get some of what you want, it ain't got to be 80%. It could be 45, 50%. If you can do that, well, you're living an okay life. You don't worry about the next person. You don't know if they're living above their means. You don't know if they're living, highly above their means. But most people, credit cards are maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know it. So when
Mm-hmm.
you see them wearing whatever they're wearing or doing whatever they're doing, again, that's outside. But when you go inside their financials, you be like, oh, you're in debt like 40 grand.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. Wife, me and my wife don't owe anybody anything. Or we owe it. Well, we do owe student loans. I'm sorry, we do owe student loans, but that's minuscule to what we already have. That's really, really small. Like me, I owe less than $3,000 in student loans. I've been paying the bare minimum. I'm not. I should just pay them off. I'll be honest with you. I should just pay them off and be done with them. But I'm like, man, I don't feel like giving them all of this money up front.
Man, you pay off them Jones and have your this is what I did. I paid off all my debts, and now my FICO score, not my credit score.
Yeah,
my FICO score is like 800s, yo.
See, my wife is in the 70s.
You know what I'm saying?
If you went up that high, I might reconsider, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It's in the 800s. All I had to do was pay my bills. That's all.
Those student loans have interest just like a car loan or a home loan.
But it's not as high.
But you still don't want to keep paying them all that extra interest.
And that's understandable. But at the same time, it's like I want to keep my savings in a certain place.
But you know what, Don? What you can do? And when you buy that house, if you have any equity in that house, get a loan. And for the equity, get a loan. Give equity in the house. Get a loan. Pay off that student loan, and then you can the home equity loan you can use on your taxes. So that way, you're paying your home equity loan back. You know what I mean? But you're also claiming that on your taxes, where you don't with the government. You know what I'm saying?
He's not gonna have any equity for a while, yo. We
already got equity because we bought the house lower than what it was actually appraised for.
Okay.
Yep. So
a lot lower. Like when the appraiser came through, he appraised the house well in the 180s, and we only bought it for like 170.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna give that money back to the bank, or you gonna keep the rest of the money and use it for whatever?
Want the bank getting the rest of them.
Okay, I use my money. I used it when I got here. I bought furniture with it. You can't tell now, but at the time, my place was hot,
Some of the money we're gonna use for appliances, like new refrigerator, new stove, dishwasher, things of that nature.
Yep, I bought my treadmill I rarely use. I did a lot of stuff with that money, yo. I did a lot of stuff. I got everything. I said, I'm going to buy everything I need for me in this house, yo. I'm not going to spend it on nothing else. You know what I mean? Because a vacation, once it's over. But you still got to go home. You know what I mean? So I said, make the house what you want it to be, baby. So that's what I did, man. I made my home what I wanted to be, and I'm happy in it. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But anyway, we are way past the hour, everybody. Way past the hour. And I'm grateful for every one of you to come. I didn't know this meeting was just going to be this good, y'all, but it's good as shit, y'all. I love this joint. And I'm grateful. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Alicia, Eric, Andre, Don, Casual Don. And listen, I'm going to wave you out, yo. And I hope everybody have a good day for the rest of the night and the rest of your life, yo. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Some job stuff.
Yeah, yo, well, you know what? You better go and get them damn jobs, girl.
Good sometimes.
All right, guys.
Bye, baby. Bye, baby.
Love you. Bye.
Love you all. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye, baby.